learned about perimeter. Can anyone tell me anything they remember about perimeter? It could be vocab words, how to find it, anything. Emma?
Adding.
What do you
Adding
add?
the sides.
Okay, so to find perimeter, I'm going to just write it so we all remember. Perimeter. First step is to add all the sides. Yes?
Are we supposed to write this?
No, you don't have to because it will just be on the board for you to reference the lesson. How do you know which sides to add when? Does it matter? Jessica?
Well, I know there's two different kinds of sides,
Awesome. Yeah. What are the two different sides called? Do either of you remember what one of them are called?
Jessica? Length?
Yes, length is one of the sides. And how do you know which side's the length, or does it even matter?
Isn't it?
Yeah?
Isn't it whichever one's longer?
Yeah, the length is usually the longer side. What's the other name of the other side? Emma, do you know, since Jessica told us what the length was?
Width.
Width. And how do you know what the width is? Either one of you.
The shorter side.
Shorter side. Nice job. Okay, so to find the perimeter, we're going to take the length, which is the longer sides, and the width and the shorter sides, and add them together. We're going to just pretend for rectangles right now. So how many sides does a rectangle have? Jessica?
4.
4. So I'm going to go ahead and draw one. And then Jessica, can you give me a number?
4.
And then Emma?
6.
Okay, so I have this rectangle here where the width is 4 and the length is 6. When we have a figure that doesn't have a measurement like 6 feet or 4 inches, how do we label it?
What did you say?
When there's a shape like this one, it doesn't say like 6 inches, 4 inches. So once I have my answer, what am I going to label it if there's not a unit of measurement there? You don't know what to know. So if there's no measurement like inches, feet, or centimeter, we're going to use square units. So you would just write square, the abbreviation for it, units. Okay, so can one of you tell me the first step I would do to complete this problem? Jessica?
So you want to start by taking the two lengths.
The two lengths?
Yes, and putting them together.
Okay, so what is 6 plus 6? 12. And then Emma, what would I do next?
Then add widths.
Yep. So 4 plus 4? 8. Now what?
Now put them together.
So, yeah, exactly. So 12.
Wait, do you multiply them?
No, when would we multiply? That's a great question. So there is a time that we learned about last week where you multiply two of the numbers. Do you remember, Emma, when you would multiply the numbers instead of add?
Use area. So like the area around.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that fast so that we can remember. So area, Emma, what did you say area is?
The measurement around the rectangle.
Nope, that's perimeter.
the stuff inside the rectangle.
How much space is inside an object? So area is the space inside.
So we multiply for area, but add only for perimeter.
Yes. So area multiply, and then perimeter is addition. Great question, Jessica. Okay, so what is 12 plus 8 to find the perimeter of this object?
20.
Awesome. 20 what?
Square unit.
Awesome. Are there any questions about how we came up with our answer?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So do you have to always add the lengths together and then the widths together?
Nope. You can add both lengths and then both widths and then add, or you could have just done 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6, or 4 plus 4, 6 plus 6, whatever you wanted to do. Or 4 plus 6 equals 10, and then 4 plus 6 equals 10. Yep. The order you add doesn't matter.
I like this way because I'm not good at math.
Okay, good. Good to know. So now we're going to move on to an activity with the partner next to you. So Jessica and Emma, you guys are going to work together. You're going to get a stack of task cards. You don't have to do them in the right order, but there are numbers in the bottom quarter. So for this one example, it's number 1. Write number 1 on your paper so I know which one you're doing. Show all of your work, and then solve and circle your answer. We're going to do the first one together because they're not all just like a rectangle. Some of them are in word problems too. So our first one is, Rebecca and Joe are each given the same shape. Rebecca says she has the shaded perimeter of her shape, and Joe says he has the shaded perimeter of his shape. Who is correct? So I'm going to draw Rebecca's shape. And she says she has the perimeter when she has the shaded area. Then I'm going to draw Joe's shape. And he says he has the perimeter when he has the area shaded. So for this task card, the question is, who has the correct perimeter shaded? Jessica?
Joe.
And why?
Because Rebecca did the area.
Right. Rebecca did the area, which, as Emma reminded us, is the area, the space inside of a shape. Mm-hmm. And Joe did that area outside of a shape, so that's the perimeter. So you both will have about 8 to 10 minutes to do as many as you can. You don't have to rush through. You'd rather get it right. And I will walk around and help as needed. Make sure you reference the board if you need the definitions again, too. They're there to help you. How are you guys figuring this one out? It's a little different than what you did on the board.
So I'm counting the number of squares to find out how long the side is.
Good. Are you going to count all the squares, or just how are you going to do it?
No, just the ones touching the line on the outside.
Why?
Because we only wanted to find the perimeter, not the area. But if I count it on the inside, that's the area.
Good. Nice job. Emma, make sure you're doing the work, too, on your paper.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
So when I count this square, do I have to count it again on the short side?
Yeah, because there's going to be 3 squares for that side. So it will
okay. So I can recount the square.
Good question. Emma, do you have any questions?
Not yet. And then once Jessica has the answer, she'll cover it up and wait until Emma does and see who's right. If you're both right, you'll move on. If not, we'll try it again and see what the mistake was. She took my paper.
That's okay. Just wait 1 second. We're going to share. She just drew it out. It's another way to try solving it without using the numbers.
Okay, I'm going on to the next question. Then we can switch.
Can't you not go on to the next question until I finish?
Well, yeah, wait till Emma finishes so you guys can compare answers. And then if they're different, see what went wrong.
Okay, so then label your answer. Which one has the longer perimeter? Rectangle A or rectangle B? I'm circling. Yep, perfect.
Rectangle A.
Did you both get A? Yes. I like how you both use different methods to solve it. Jessica used addition right away. Emma drew it and then counted and then used addition. Nice job. Okay, so move on to the next one that Jessica has here. You want to read it?
Alexandra traces the pentagon with all equal sides onto her paper. Its perimeter is 45 centimeters. What is the length of each side of the pentagon?
So what do we know about pentagons? How many sides do they have? Are all the sides equal or are they different? How would you go about solving this problem? It's a little bit of a trickier one. Yeah, they're all equal. So, what does it say that the total perimeter is? 45 centimeters. Okay,
So then what you divide?
divide by what?
What if I divide it by 5?
Where'd you get the 5 from?
The outside. The
What do you mean the outside?
lines, the length. I don't
How
know
many
what it's
sides
called,
there are?
yeah. Right?
Nice job.
9 centimeters.
Awesome job. Okay, now work on one more. You guys have like 2 minutes left.
Maya and Andy are each given the same shape. Maya says she has shaded the perimeter of her shape, and Andy says that he has shaded the perimeter of his shape. Who is correct?
Maya. Why do you think that? Because her shape isn't all shaded. Right?
Yeah, I think you're right, because we were saying that perimeter is only shaded outside, so it's the lines like Maya has, but Andy did the inside. Remember, that was area.
Okay. Now I'm going to have each of you do one on the board.
I need some time.
Okay, that's
Is
fine.
there anything?
You'll have 2 minutes to each do this one and then show the class how you got your answer.
What is it?
Work on these ones separately. And then if you need help, just raise your hand.
This one's a little difficult.
Okay. Do you have a question?
So, yeah, because here they tell me, and then here they don't tell me. So,
But here they tell you the outside length, and then they tell you right here.
Okay, hold on. I need to do this one first.
Okay.
The length was the long. Okay. What were you
I
saying?
like how you wrote length is long on your paper. So, this side is 12. And then over here, it tells you what about this little piece?
That's 2 inches.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
So do I take it away?
Mm-hmm. But
From
you're
the
gonna
big from the big side of it, because it's like this side fits into this side,
Yep.
but we know that it's
and then you also have to do it up here, remember? Because see, it's missing in both of these areas, not just one. Then you'll find the length for the inside rectangle. How do you do it?
Good, right? Because you just add it.
shapes, one like a pentagon and one square. The pentagon has side length.
how do you spell it?
Nice job. And then,
So
so
then
which
it's-
shape has the smaller perimeter, not larger?
The square.
Okay, so go ahead and write that. And then write the square has the smaller perimeter. And if you need to know how to spell perimeter, it's on the board.
What if it's like half shaded in? Like shapes ever do that? Like
Unless they want to know half of the area.
half of the area of the object.
Yeah, that's how the question might ask it. If like, so if you
You wanted to know the area of this square.
Like if I had half a garden and you had half a garden.
Yeah.
But we
What
want
was
to
the
make
area
it
of each
even.
garden?
We gotta figure out how much land
This
you get,
half
how
might be
much land
shaded. So how
I
do you
get.
So
Because
then
I
would
want
you
to have
just,
an equal garden.
so then would you just
find
put it in
it?
half?
Well, in this case, yeah, you would find the area of the whole thing and divide it by 2.
Because we know it's equal.
Okay, Emma, can you please come to the board and show us how you solved your problem? Read your problem to the class. And then explain as you go. Okay? Here's the mark. So what was your question?
Kate has 2 shapes, one regular pentagon and one square. The pentagon has a side length of 25 centimeters and the square has a side length of 30 centimeters. What shape has the smaller perimeter?
So what was the
So-
first thing you did?
I drew out the pentagon.
Jessica, do you remember how many sides are on a pentagon?
5.
Doesn't have to be perfect. So Emma drew her pentagon, and now what?
And then I wrote 25 centimeters
Why?
because it says that the one side has a length of 25 centimeters.
So how do you know the length of all the other sides?
Because they're all the same.
Okay, so do you want to go ahead and label it so we can all see how you knew? I like how Emma's using her units, centimeters, so she doesn't forget when she labels her answers at the end.
And then I did the square. And that said that it was 30 centimeters.
On each side?
Yeah, on each side.
Awesome.
And then I added all of them up, so 25. And then 30. So I added all of them up, and then it said which one has the smaller perimeter, and since 120 is smaller than 125, the square has the smaller perimeter.
Awesome job. Jessica, do you have any questions about that? It's okay if you don't. No. Okay. Now, can you please come up and show your right answer for task card 6?
Do you want me to draw my picture?
Yeah, it can just be, you can use red and blue if you need to show the 2 different square or rectangles.
So my question was, the picture below shows a picture frame. What is the perimeter of the inside of the picture frame? So I'll show you what the picture looks like.
So she starts with a big rectangle.
But I thought the inside was area.
It is. Let her draw the picture first, then you'll kind of see it. And then there's a smaller rectangle inside. And the question asks for the perimeter of the inside rectangle, not the outside. So once she labels the picture the way it's labeled in the task card, it'll make a little more sense. So we'll just give her about a minute and a half to do that, and then you can see. Need another color?
Mm-hmm. So this is what the picture looks like. So let me read the question again for you. The picture below shows a picture frame. what is the perimeter of the inside of the picture frame? So this little inside border.
What's the what?
So your
Perimeter.
Her question asks for the perimeter of the inside. So we know that the width of the outside rectangle is 14 inches. The length is 16 inches. We know that the length of the inside is 12 inches, but the width is missing. So Jessica's going to tell you how she found the width because she did it correctly.
Okay.
So I started off by working on my length. And I know that my length is the long side. So this line is longer than this one. So it's going to be 12. And then those two sides are the same in our rectangle. So then I added another 12. And then I remembered in my head that they were inches, but you can remember. And then that equals 24 inches. Okay. Then the next part, when finding perimeter, I have to find the width, which I know is the short side. So here it doesn't tell me what it was, but it tells me the long side. I know that it's 14, and I know that this little space here, up until it reaches that little line that I'm trying to find, is 2. So what I did is I did 14 inches minus 2 inches, because I want to take away this little spot right here to cancel it out like I'm chopping it, and then chop this part too. So there's
So does that make sense, Emma?
Yeah.
Why she chopped it and why she did it twice?
Just trying to get the width of the smaller one.
Yep.
Wait, why'd you do it twice?
Because the outside rectangle has
Oh.
this extra length or width here, and then this extra width
So it's
here.
two.
It's like
But
you're
we only
cutting
want
paper. I cut this part of the paper away and this part of the paper away.
Yep.
Okay.
So Jessica
So-
did 14 minus 2 for both of the sides.
So that's minus 4, and then 14 inches minus 4 inches equals 10 inches. And then we know that perimeter is length plus width, which here is our length and here is our width. So it is 24 plus 10. And that equals 34 inches.
Awesome job. One thing that Jessica missed is she found one length because she did 14 once minus the 2 and got 10. But she only added 10 once. There's 2 widths, right? So if for the final answer, Jessica would want to add one more 10 for the final width. And what is 34 plus 10?
44.
So the final perimeter is 44 inches. So she was really close, but sometimes, especially when we're doing minus 2, we get confused with all the different steps. So good job, Jessica.